Hey guys!
Hello! Welcome to Soul Kids Online. We're excited to be with you again today. I've got my trusty assistant, James, with me again, who will be just in the video. He's going to be doing the game, so we're going to be doing Pictionary. And yeah, we're excited about this morning. This week we are looking at the fourth I am saying of Jesus. And he says these different things about who he is in the Gospel of John. And we've been looking at one each week for the last 3 weeks. So the first week, can anyone remember what we looked at? Number one, first week, see if I can remember, was I am the bread of life. The second week was I am the light of the world, how Jesus is our light. The third week, last week, Anna and the amazing Smith family looked at the Good Shepherd. I am the Good Shepherd. And today we're looking at Jesus' fourth saying, I am the resurrection and the life, which sounds like a very long thing to say, but we'll figure out what that means. But first up, we're going to play a game.
Okay, so now we're playing Pictionary. What's going to happen is I'm going to draw onto a sheet of paper here. B and you are going to try and see if you can guess what it is. I think you might be able to beat B. See if you can. And we'll see what happens, see how many you can get. So let's go.
Do we get any clues?
Not many.
A cloud.
Not a cloud.
A flower.
Not
A tree.
Flower.
A tree. A sheep. A sheep.
Sheep.
Hopefully you guys got that before me. Next one.
Next one is oh, testing my drawing skills.
Are those meant to be circles?
Those are circles.
A car.
Yeah.
Yes, that was quick. I was very quick there.
Then, one more.
An orange.
Not an orange.
An apple.
Not an apple.
A football.
Not a football.
Anyone else know? The world.
Yeah.
World.
Last one.
Last one.
See if you can get it. Is
Your drawing's interesting.
easy one. Hopefully.
I have no idea what that is. Anyone have any clue what that is?
Guesses? Actually, if I just start writing.
Bread!
Bread!
That's not a good bread.
No,
That's
bread.
not
No?
great.
Anybody?
Great!
That's our game.
Hopefully you guys did better than me. Well, I got a couple right,
You
but
got a
the
couple right,
bread
yeah.
was not a good picture.
No, sorry about that.
Great.
Right, well now we're going to go over to our action song. So why don't you jump up on your feet, have a little shake about, and we'll go and see what the song is today.
Every morning when I wake, I get ready, got my armor for the day. I get ready, this way, I know you're with me every step I take. Whoa, this way, I know you're with me every step I take. I got the sword of the spirit, the shield of faith, the belt of truth around my waist. When I feel weak, you make me strong, never back down. I got my God suit on. every battle that I face. I'll be ready when the arrows fly my way. Hold me steady, this way, I know you're with me every step I take. Oh, this way, I know you're with me every step I take. I got the sword of the Spirit, the shield of faith, the belt of truth around my waist. When I feel weak, you make me strong, never back down. I got my God suit on. Your saving grace will guard my head. Your righteousness like a bulletproof vest. These good news shoes were made to run, never back down. I got my God suit on, never back down. I got my God suit on. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Got my hands in the air and your praise on my lips. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Every battle I face, my God has won. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Got my hands in the air and your praise on my lips. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Never back down. I got my God suit on. This way, I know you're with me every step I take. Oh, this way, I know you're with me every step I take. I got the sword of the Spirit, the shield of faith, the belt of truth around my waist. When I feel weak, you make me strong, never back down. I got my God suit on. Your saving grace will guard my head. Your righteousness like a bulletproof vest. These good news shoes were made to run, never back down. I got my God suit on, never back down. I got my God suit on.
Amazing. So, as I said before, we are looking today at Jesus' fourth saying, which is, I am the resurrection and the life. And we find this saying, Jesus says this about himself, in the story about Jesus' friend Lazarus. And Lazarus was one of his really closest friends. Lazarus was the brother of Mary and Martha. So the three of them were really good friends of Jesus. And we find this story where Lazarus is taken ill and he's not well. And Mary sends word to Jesus and says, come, Lazarus he's not doing well, he's ill. Come and save him, come and help him. And Jesus was quite a way off. He was traveling somewhere else and he didn't immediately come. And we're going to watch a little clip that just shows what happens and the story and then ultimately what Jesus does. So watch the clip and I'll be back in a few minutes.
Stories of the Bible. Jesus raises Lazarus from the dead. This is Jesus,
Heyo!
who is the Son of God and the Savior of the world. While Jesus was on earth, he taught everyone about God's love. He did many miracles and healed people of their sickness. Jesus had a friend named Lazarus who was very sick. He had two sisters named Mary
That's okay.
and Martha,
Here you go.
who sent a message to Jesus telling him, Lord, your dear friend is very sick.
So come on.
But when Jesus heard about it, he said, Lazarus' sickness will not end in death. No, it happened for the glory of God.
What?
So although Jesus loved Martha, Mary, and Lazarus, he stayed where he was for the next 2 days.
All right, let's go.
Finally, he said to his disciples, let's go back to Judea.
Are you sure?
But his disciples did not think this was a good idea because the people in Judea had tried to kill Jesus. But Jesus told them they were going anyway. He said, our friend Lazarus has fallen asleep, but now I will go and wake him up."
He'll be okay.
The disciples thought Jesus meant Lazarus was simply sleeping. So Jesus told them plainly, "Lazarus is dead.
What?
And for your sakes, I'm glad I wasn't there. For now you will really believe. Come, let's go see him." Thomas said to his fellow disciples, "Let's go too and die with Jesus." When Jesus arrived at Bethany, he was told that Lazarus had already been in his grave for 4 days. Many people had come to be with Mary and Martha because their brother had died. When Martha got word that Jesus was coming, she went to meet him. Martha said to Jesus, "Lord, if only you had been here, my brother would not have died. But even now I know that God will give you whatever you ask." Jesus told her, "Your brother will rise again." "Yes," Martha said, "he will rise when everyone else rises at the last day." Jesus told her, "I am the resurrection and the life. Anyone who believes in me will live even after dying." "Do you believe this, Martha?" "Yes, Lord," she told him. "I have always believed you are the Messiah, the Son of God." Then she returned to Mary. She told Mary, "The teacher is here and wants to see you." So Mary immediately went to him. When the people who were at the house consoling Mary saw her leave so hastily, they assumed she was going to Lazarus' grave to weep.
Oh, let's go too.
So they followed her there. When Mary arrived and saw Jesus, she said, "Lord, if only you had been here, my brother would not have died." When Jesus saw her weeping and saw the other people wailing with her, a deep anger welled up within him. "Where have you put him?" he asked them. They told him, "Lord, come and see." Then Jesus wept. The people who were standing nearby said, "See how much he loved him?" But some said, "This man healed a blind man. Couldn't he have kept Lazarus from dying?" Jesus was still angry and he arrived at the tomb. "Roll the stone aside," Jesus told them.
Wait, hold on, Jesus.
But Martha protested, "Lord, he has been dead for 4 days. The smell will be terrible." Jesus said, "Didn't I tell you that you would see God's glory if you believe?"
Go ahead.
So they rolled the stone aside. Then Jesus said, "Father, thank you for hearing me. You always hear me, but I said it out loud for the sake of all these people standing here, so they will believe you sent me." Then Jesus shouted, "Lazarus, come out!" And Lazarus came out, his hands, feet, and head wrapped in cloth.
Oh, hello?
Jesus told them, "Unwrap him and let him go."
Wahoo!
Many of the Jews who were there believed in Jesus, for he had raised Lazarus from the dead.
Great, and that video is so helpful, isn't it? Because it shows us what happens in a really, well, I love to watch them. And it shows us how Jesus, eventually, after a couple days, he says, "I'm going to go to Lazarus." And by this point, we saw in the video, didn't we, that Lazarus had actually died. And he'd been all wrapped up. He was in the tomb. And just a couple things that I thought we could really, that God wanted to maybe say to us today, is when Jesus gets to Mary and Martha, they say to him, "Lord, if you'd only have been here, Lazarus wouldn't have died." And that can feel like quite an honest thing for Mary and Martha to have said to Jesus. And that's just one thing for us. When things are hard and when we may be confused or even a bit angry or upset, we can say how we feel to God. And we're allowed to. He wants us to just tell him how we feel. Like Mary and Martha would have been so upset. You know, they thought if Jesus had come straight away, Lazarus would still be here. And they would just felt confident enough to tell Jesus how they felt. And then the other thing is that we saw in the video that Jesus, when he sees how upset Mary and Martha were, he cries. And it says Jesus wept in the Bible. And we know that Jesus goes on to raise Lazarus from the dead, and Lazarus lives again. And Jesus would have known he was going to do that, but he still shares with us when we're upset or when we're hurting. Jesus feels what we feel as well, and he knows exactly what we're feeling. So we can be encouraged by that, can't we? That Jesus, we can tell him how we're feeling, we can be really honest with him, and he also shares in what we're going through. And he cares for us deeply. It's not just like he's a God way off in the distance. He cares for us and what we're feeling. And then lastly, Jesus raises Lazarus from the dead, and that means for us as Christians, we believe that when we trust in Jesus, we get to live forever with him. And that means that when we die, we actually then spend forever alive with him. And that can be really hard to get our heads around, but that's just something to remember, that we believing in Jesus means we have everlasting life with him. And also, what it means for us today, now, is that we've got life now. He brings us to life in a new way. And I just wondered if there are times in your life when you didn't maybe know Jesus, and just a few questions that you could think about around what difference has it made that you believe and trust in Jesus? You know, what difference does it make to going to school that you believe in God and that Jesus has made you alive and that you've got forever with him? And there are going to be a couple questions come up on the screen. And why don't you pause the video, and if there's some grown-ups around or maybe some older siblings, and just chat with them about each question and what it means that Jesus, when we trust in him, we live with him forever, and he brings us life even now and today. So that's what we're looking at today, Jesus being our resurrection and our life. That even today, he brings us into life, he gives us life. And like Lazarus, when we die, we actually then go on to live forever with him. I shall see you next week, guys. Hope you have a wonderful week. Remember to pause the video if you'd like to go through some questions with your family members or anyone in your home. Bye, guys.